So, growing up, mental health was not tackled whatsoever. Even though I had like family members who studied psychology, I have an aunt that she actually studied counseling and therapy, but talking about issues was never a thing. No one ever talked about it. If you're depressed, if you're going through something, smile through it, is the message that I got basically. And moving here, being told to talk about my feelings and to express that side of it was extremely weird. But because of how my mom is and because of how I grew up, I was always encouraged to talk about my feelings with my family, my close family. So I'm glad I got that experience and got to see the two sides of how mental health is tackled within the Black community.
My name is Obiageli, and it means I have come to this world to enjoy. And if you add the akul on the end, Obiageli akul, it means I've come to this world to enjoy money. My ancestry, I guess, is from Nigeria. My mother is Yoruba, my dad is Igbo. I was born in Brixton, born in London, raised here all my life. I used to travel back to Nigeria quite a lot. Maybe, I've been there like 6 times. So we used to go like every year in the summer. In my family, mental health, emotions, anything in that kind of field wasn't really discussed, encouraged, or catered to, tended to. Growing up, I suffered with like depression and anxiety, and I never really knew what it was. My mental health has been affected by my identity as a Black queer woman. Growing up, I never really knew what being gay was. I didn't have any role models. I never really saw Black people be gay. So that affected my mental health, because obviously I thought being gay was a bad thing, and I really suppressed that, and obviously suppression isn't good for your mental health. I feel like being a Black woman also has affected my mental health. Obviously growing up, again, I never really understood why certain things happened the way it did, and I wasn't as conscious of what it meant to be a Black woman in this world, and what it means to exist as a Black woman. Again, a lot of the things I experienced was internalized. I thought it was just a problem with me, rather than I guess a problem with society, really. There was a phase of my life where I used to self-harm, and I remember coming back home one day with my scars, and I was really distraught. It's a really bad day, and I come to my mom and I'm just look, I show her my scars, and I'm crying, and she responded to me. It was why are you ever exaggerating? Why are you being extra? I don't know. She was just questioning me. She was just thinking I'm attention seeking. She thought I was attention seeking, and yeah, that's how mental health was taken.
Shying away from subjects can be ignorant. Not talking about things can suppress emotion, which creates even more anxiety and depression and issues. Not talking about things and encouraging not talking about things can lead to unhealthy habits and depression.
Well, I feel like the African diaspora is very, very broad. I'm always very cautious of grouping Black people as one thing, because I feel like it's important to kind of individualize experiences. There are so many different ways to be Black. But I feel like mental health in, like, at least coming from where I'm from, Nigeria, and like knowing kind of like the society there, I feel like it's very stigmatized. I feel like it's not talked about enough. I feel like it often is very, very integrated with religion and demons, like spirituality. It has very negative connotations. And I feel like it should be seen as just a normal part of a person. Like, we all have a mental health, but I feel like it's very separated. It's not spoken about enough. I would probably tell my younger self that you were perfect. And I'll give myself a big hug. A big hug. Like a really big hug.